Welcome everyone to another Moldex3D webinar. This time we're going to be talking about tips and tricks and in the pre-processing section of setting up your simulation. My name is Alex Baker. I'm a senior applications here at Moldex3D. I handle our training support and other consulting and benchmarking services. Before we get started here, a couple of housekeeping things. Please keep your microphones muted throughout the session to keep the recording nice and clear. We will be hosting a Q&A section at the end of the meeting, so if you do have any questions, feel free to use the chat section of Teams, and that will help us to know what questions to be answered at the end. And then you can also fill out the survey to get a recording of the webinar. This survey will be sent out after the webinar is completed, and you can feel free to fill that out to receive a recording of the webinar so you can review it at a later date, share it with colleagues, etc. All right, list of topics. We're going to go over some surfacing tools, run our modeling recommendations, looking at the cooling technology that has been developed recently with Moldex, some meshing best practices, how to improve your computation time, and wrapping up with some events and the final Q&A. All right, going into surfacing tools here, there's a few tools that we have in Moldex3D. We have the check geometry tool panel, which allows us to kind of find and locate CAD issues, things like being able to identify free edges, tiny edges, things that would be identified in CAD Doctor, but you can also identify them in Moldex3D as well. Obviously, we recommend you to use CAD Doctor. We have the integration in the check geometry function that allows you to go straight out to CAD Doctor, but if you just want to very quickly identify some features in your geometry, if there's some more simple features to fix, then you can use the quick tools here, things like the delete face and fill face, as you can see as an example down here. And then you can also use the sew functions, which allow you to kind of work through your geometry and sew certain features back together if there's maybe a dissociated surface or something like that. This can really help you to clean up those areas very quickly. Now, again, you can use CAD Doctor to do this as well. We certainly recommend you to do so, but if you are so inclined, you can do so in Moldex3D as well. All right, in addition to this, we have some other tools available to us over in the Tool tab of Moldex3D, and these are listed up here. We have the Join Curve and Extract Edge Curve. Extract Edge Curve, well, allows us to do exactly that. It allows us to take a series of feature lines and extract them as individual curve objects. You can use this to rebuild a surface. You can use this to just generate the construction lines for a particular surface. You can even use this to start generating your own surfaces, as it turns out, in Moldex3D as well. So extracting the edge curves can be quite useful, getting the wireframe of the model, and then you can do whatever you want to with those from there. You can also join curves together. So rather than just extracting the curves from a geometry, if you have a bunch of different curves and you want to join them together, you can do that through the join curve function that allows you to take multiple curve segments and join them into one singular object. Now, it should be noted that all of these curves do stay separate from one another. So these are not like one entity, if that makes sense. Once you join them, they are their own separate individual curves that you can manipulate individually.